everybody. I'm Yukta Chetty, and tonight on Sports Federation TV, we're coming to you live from Century City Conference Centre, where Western Cape Provincial Sports Confederation is celebrating all the sports administrators in all 6 districts in the Western Cape. Tonight, we'll be taking a look at the highlights from this dinner, as well as catching up with some of the top administrators in our province. Please stay tuned. We'll be taking a look at all this and more tonight.
I'd like to welcome you with a special message of support. Dr. Debbie Alexander from SASCOC to the stage. She served as the President of Triathlon South Africa between 2009 and 2016 and as Vice President between 2007 and 2009. She served as a member of the SASCOC High Performance Advisory Committee and the Medical and Anti-Doping Commission as the psychology representative. She is the first Vice President of the African Triathlon Union Executive Board, and in 2016 was re-elected to the International Triathlon Union Executive Board member. Please give Dr. Debbie Alexander a very, very warm reception.
Good evening. Thank you for this opportunity to have a few words, JP. I really appreciate it. There was something special about the invitation that prompted me to say yes to this evening's function. There was a word on there that stood out for me. It wasn't the dinner and it wasn't the celebration. It was actually the appreciation. Okay, that really stood out for me because often for those of us who've been involved in sport for many years, that's something that we don't often experience, or we don't feel that we're getting that appreciation. So when I saw this invitation that said appreciation, I thought, gee, that's fantastic. I'd really like to go to this event. I'm going to stay with the 2 appreciations, the acknowledgement and the gratitude for absolutely everything you do for sport. For those of you who are working with athletes, the coaches, the referees, the technical officials, the Western Cape government, the Western Cape Provincial Sports Confederation, the leaders, the administrators. To all of you, I want to say thank you a million times over for what you do for sport, not just in the province, but also for what you do for sport country-wise. Thank you for your ongoing relationship with SASCOC and all our athletes and our coaches. And of course, there's also the medical and the sports science representatives sitting at the table with me. So thank you too for all the work that you do. So, and that's all I have to say, and have a wonderful evening.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you for the invitation to this glamorous event. I'm the Portfolio Councillor for Sport at Drakensberg local municipality, and yes, I am very involved in the sporting community in Paarl, and everybody. Paarl is our base where our headquarters is, but we have Simondium, and then Paarl, and then Wellington, Saron, Hermon, and Gouda. That is our jurisdiction area.
Well, Cape Winelands is phenomenal,
yes,
producing some of the best athletes in the country.
Yes.
And this is quite an exciting partnership, because I guess that is just going to mean even more amazing athletes coming from the Cape Winelands.
Yes, of course, we have a lot of programs, and talent identification is one of the key focus areas, and we do have a lot of wonderful athletes. We have Louisville, Manyanga, that is from Bekweni. It's a local township in Paarl. We also have Rashwal Samai, and we're very proud of you guys. So yes, and we still keep on seeking for talent and building on that. I think we have rich talent in Paarl, and we still focus on evolving that.
Excellent.
So,
now, this is your first dinner at the Western Cape
yes,
Provincial
yes.
Sports Appreciation Dinner. What has been your impression of the night so far?
I think the appreciation, the fact that they appreciate all the administrators that is working so tirelessly behind the scenes, I think it is really, really key that we do keep them motivated and inspired. And I want to say thank you to JP and the team for a wonderful, wonderful event and just giving acknowledgement to the people that really deserves that.
I'd like to now call on our next speaker to deliver a message of support. The MEC for the Department of Cultural Affairs and Sport, Andrew Murray. We'd ask Minister Murray to please join me. Minister Murray is committed to making a significant difference in the lives of the people of the Western Cape. She believes that DCAS has a pivotal role to fulfill in facilitating community conversations, promoting culture, heritage, libraries, archives and language, and using sport and recreation to advance social cohesion. Please give her a very warm welcome.
Goeienaand, good evening Molweni. Baie dankie dat ek vanaand by julle kan wees. JP, thank you for the invitation. Ek was vanoggend in Witzenberg, op die berg. Dit is 2 laerskole wat 'n sevens toernooi gehad het. Die een is Voorberg Primêr en die ander een is Boy Miller Primêr. En wat ek besef het vanoggend, that we're emotional about our sport, but I really think that we don't understand the impact that sport has on our communities. En vanoggend was dit vir my so fantasties om hierdie mooi jong seuns te sien, saam met hulle onderwysers, saam met hulle skoolhoof, saam met die gemeenskap. En dit is wat sport so fantasties maak. Dit bring ons bymekaar. Dis 'n eenheid. Dit verenig ons. So that's what I want to say, that sport is just fantastic. And then also, thank you for the relationship that I and the department have with each and every one of you. And I've been looking tonight, and I think I know about 80%, even not more. And I must tell you, thank you so much for the good relationship. Enjoy the evening, and remember my door is always open. And if I can't say no, the HOD says he can say no if it's necessary. Thank you so much.
Hartlike baie dankie, Minister Murray. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, starters will now be served. So please enjoy, and we'll recommence after that.
We're live at the Century City Convention Centre, celebrating all the administrators in the Western Cape at the Western Cape Provincial Sports Confederation Appreciation Dinner. With me now is Desmond Spielman, the chairperson of the Eden Sports Council, as well as executive member on Western Cape Provincial Sports Confederation. Desmond, it's been an amazing night. You were part of the team that made this night a reality. How does it feel now that it's come to fruition?
Ek was vanaand uit die veld geslaan met die hoeveelheid mense hier opgedaag het vanaand. Dat maak mense hart bly om soveel sportadministrateurs dankie te kan sê vir dit wat hulle gedoen het die afgelope jaar en dit wat hulle nog gaan doen vir ons atlete.
Absolutely. Now, the Eden district is one of the 6 districts in the Western Cape. Still a lot more room for the other sports to get in there and officially affiliate under the Eden Sports Council. What is your long-term goals for the area?
Op hierdie stadium het ons 50 federasies wat by ons geaffilieer is en ons het 6 local sport councils, municipale sport councils by ons geaffilieer is. Ek is op hierdie oomblik besig om basketbal en 10-punt bowling nader te trek en kyk of ons dat ook hulle so ver kan kry om by ons te kan affilieer. Ons werk verskriklik hard in die Eden district om onze federasies te dien en toe te sien dat hulle in compliance is en ons help hulle ook om hulle Weskaap federasies in plek te kry.
What do you think about this dinner that is here to celebrate the administrators? Do you think it will encourage our administrators to do more and also to realize the kind of effect that they have?
Ek Volgens my is hierdie appreciation dinner is weer eens om vir die administrators, die coaches, weer eens vir hulle baie dankie te sê vir dit wat hulle doen. En ek dink dit is ook 'n tipe van 'n motivering vir ons administrators en coaches om verder te gaan met ons atlete.
Absolutely. And your surname is Spielman, eh?
Spielman.
So you were born for sport.
I'm born for sport, that's why my surname is Spielman.
Okay, Desmond Spielman, lekker speel. tot die volgende keer dat ons saam kan praat. Okay, dankie.
Thank you.
We'll be back after the break with more highlights from tonight's appreciation dinner, where you'll hear from all the sports administrators and also have a closer look at the happenings of the night. For Sports Federation TV, I'm Ch263, coming to you live from Century City Conference Centre with Wynand Simon, the president of Western Cape Ringbal. Well, welcome Wynand. I mean, this has been an amazing night. How have you experienced it?
It's been a very good organized evening. It's the second year in a row that I attended. Very well organized, and I'm very proud to be a member of the Western Cape Sport Confederation.
Excellent. Now, ringbal is also quite a well-known sport. Please tell our viewers at home how it differs from the other sports.
Ringbal is a new name for a very old sport which is already 111 years old. Previously it was called korfbal. We had to change the name because of reasons that I'm not going to talk about. But we play it in 7 of the 9 provinces. It's very big in the Gauteng, in other areas. And yeah, we're going well in the Western Cape, and we hope to even go into districts where we've never been before.
Excellent. What are some of the highlights from your sport in the recent past?
In the last 4 years, we brought the Western Cape in the Western Province, now called Cape Town, back on track, and we're very competitive. In 2015, we started winning tournaments and competitions, and this year at the National Championships, we had two of the 5 teams which both came second.
Now, Wynand, as a chairperson of a sports confederation in the Western Cape, which you say is quite big and growing still,
Yes.
What are some of the major challenges you experience, and how have you managed to overcome them?
Our biggest challenges at this point of time is distances. And as they said earlier tonight, with that you need funding. We are very glad that for the last 2 years we've been managed to get a little bit of funds from DCAS. We hope we've put our applications in for the next term. We hope to get more, and we try to organize competitions not every weekend, like every second weekend, that it's not so hard on the pocket to get to the different events.
Okay, well, Wynand, we wish you all the best with your development efforts,
Yes.
especially with trying to get the sport into the areas where people don't have access to it. All the best, and thank you for the work you do in the province.
Thank you very much, and thanks for supporting us.
Excellent.
Keep well.
We move on to the keynote speaker for the Western Cape Provincial Sport Confederation dinner. He is the president of the Western Cape Provincial Sport Confederation. But he's not just the president, he's also a martial artist with a first-degree black belt in judo and full contact. He's going to kick me because I can't say it now. Kyokushin Karate.
Hi everybody. Let me explain to you the landscape of sport in the Western Cape. The people you see in the room tonight, this is the Western Cape sport leadership, either in the provincial space or in the district space. Now let me give you the numbers. 70 federations out of Cape Town, 50 out of Eden, 20 from the West Coast, 10 from Central Karoo, 20 from Overberg, and about 40 from the Cape Winelands. And then we have about 30 full members, provincial members. That gives us a total in the province that we are responsible for, a total of 240 different sport federations. 240 different sport federations that we have to look after. You don't see the Olympic champion of treasurers or the world champion of secretaries. And you don't get gold medals for leadership. Being a sports administrator gives you that good feeling inside. It's that feeling only you in this room know. As the Confederation, our mandate is the continuous improvement of sport in the Western Cape. The threat to amateur and professional sport today is very real. We are faced with an economy that's struggling globally, investment is hard to come by, and the demand for a greater return on investment is ever increasing. The younger generation today has got far more distractions than yesterday, not to mention unstable politics. It's vital that we recognize those challenges. And we realize that a change model, as we said, change responsibility, a change model is needed. And in that space, the need for sports administrators to employ a diversification strategy is absolutely critical. We need to start thinking out the box. We cannot operate in the same way that we operated yesterday. You have to adapt, you have to move forward. This is the only way that sport is going to survive. We do not have, the majority of the people in this room do not have the luxury of being professional sport and being on prime broadcast, traditional broadcast TV, mainstream TV. The majority of this room sits in the other 99% of the pyramid, which means we have to work 10 times harder to get the greatness of what's sitting in the 1% of the top part of the pyramid, which gets the revenue, gets the sponsorship, and gets the broadcasting. So how is the 99% sitting in the bottom part of the pyramid going to make it work? We need to come up with new plans. We need to find new ways to deliver on amateur sport. That the need for good governance, smart accounting, content creation, content marketing, and overall acceptance of social media and the digital platforms is what will determine our success as sports administrators. Our goals include, this confederation, our goals include more media for sport codes, more sponsorship, better communication platforms, better administrative tools for our federations. On that note, I'm very proud to announce that we now have a formal partner in the world of sports science, and that being the Sports Science Institute of South Africa, who will join hands with us to provide memberships, education, high-performance testing, and more. And I firmly believe that with the help of South Africa's most celebrated sports science facility, we can take our activities to greater heights. Tonight we celebrate our sports administrators, our full members, our provisional members, and our federations in the districts that have joined us tonight. We believe these tools will lay the platform for our administrators to develop and transform their sport with greater ease. I firmly believe that we have what it takes in this room tonight. Once again, to the administrators out there, this is tonight about appreciation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. JP Nordia. Mains will now be served. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Being here tonight is, I must say, it's awesome and it's wonderful. It's wonderful to be here.
So you currently operate from the Overberg area?
Yes, definitely from the Overberg region. That is from the Caledon and New Zealand and also your Hermanus region. Napier, all the way from Napier, yeah. Okay. Hey, but actually they call it Napier, eh? Not Napier, it's Napier.
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 So
yes.
what is your hopes and dreams for the Overberg area in terms of sport and getting the sport accessible to all the people in the area?
Currently for us is our mandate is to establish more sport federations. So currently we stand on 19. We are now in the process to establish 4 more. So by 2019 we will approximately have say 24, 25 established federations. So it's important for us also to promote sport, especially the federation, also club sport and also the school sport. So we want to see that there's an increase in the participation of the coach of sport within our region, and currently we are doing quite well. We're doing quite well.
What would you say is the main importance of sport in any area?
In any area, the main purpose of regarding to sport is about you need to enjoy sport, especially when you may be a learner or maybe if you are playing sport. So you must enjoy sport. So if you have enjoy sport, then you can even take sport to the next level. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much
for the work that you do in your area and for the work you'll continue to do for the rest of your life. Because once you're a volunteer, you'll always be
a volunteer. But thank you very much.
Yes.
I much appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
First certificate is for Cape Town Sport Council. Please come forward and receive your certificate of appreciation from Exco member Mr. David Mans. Cape Winelands Sport Council, please come forward. Central Karoo Sports Council. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, these wonderful certificates of appreciation are for their service, contribution and dedication to sport in the Western Cape. Eden Sport Council, please come and collect your certificates. Overberg Sport Council. West Coast Sport Council.
We're coming to you live from Century City Conference Centre, where we're celebrating the Administrators in Q Sport here at the Western Cape Provincial Sports Confederation Appreciation Dinner. With me now is Karen Barkley from Aikido and specifically from the Cape Winelands. Once again, welcome, Karen.
Yeah, it's nice to see you again.
Yes.
What a lovely evening we've had.
It's been a beautiful evening. How does this inspire you to realize your projects going forward?
It's so lovely to see the administrators acknowledged and appreciated in this way, and it certainly gives us a little bit of a boost for the coming year and the preparations that we want going forward. Yeah.
Okay, well, share with our viewers your current projects in Aikido and where you're seeing the sport going.
Okay, at the moment we're based in Paarl in the Cape Winelands, and we have Aikido classes for children as well as for adults. At the moment the projects are going well in the schools, and what we would like to do next year is to really be able to take it to more schools. So for that, we're still looking for that trailer, as many of the schools don't have mats. But last month, for example, we had a wonderful opportunity to do a demonstration, a One World demonstration in Paarl, and that was an incredible opportunity for the children to be able to show what they've learned so far and to get acknowledgement, from the community. So that was really wonderful.
Well, we've spoken before,
Yes.
and Aikido is quite a unique martial arts. What would you say is the standout characteristic of Aikido from the other martial arts?
I think it's, you know, it is self-defense, but also it's character building properties. You know, it's something that builds confidence, self-discipline, self-assurance, and self-esteem. In that you have to train cooperatively, and I think that's what makes it a little bit different from other martial arts, in that you're not fighting each other. You're working together to upskill yourself in Aikido.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Karen. Thank you for the wonderful work you're doing in the Cape Winelands, and we look forward to seeing you again.
Thanks so much for the opportunity. Thank you.
The first is Western Cape Aquatics. Like a Titan bow, Western Cape Archery. Well done. And this is, of course, also in acknowledgement for service, contribution, and dedication to sport in the Western Cape. Q Sport. Western Cape Q Sport. Please come and receive your appreciation of acknowledgement. We're going to gear up and welcome to the stage Western Cape Cycling. The next one is Western Cape Gymnastics. Western Cape Judo. Please come and join us.
I'm Ch263 and I'm coming to you live from Century City Conference Centre, where we're having the Western Cape Provincial Sports Confederation Appreciation Dinner for all the administrators in Western Cape. With me now, from the amazing world of Q Sport, is Fakhmi Jassim, the president of Western Cape Q Sport. Welcome, Fakhmi. This is your first dinner with the province, hey?
Oh, thank you. It's nice to be here. And yes, it is my first dinner. Hopefully not the last one.
Yes. Well, Western Cape Q Sport has a lot of Q Sports under its umbrella. Tell us about those.
Okay, currently we have quite a few. We've got the mainstream one, which is the pool, which has got the most members. Then we've got snooker, we've got 9-ball, we've got Chinese 8-ball, and we are looking at the American 10-ball as well.
Well, Fakhmi, in the spirit of the night, for you, how important, and in your experience, how important are administrators in achieving this goal?
It's very important. It's extremely important in the sense that for me to be here tonight, not only to get a recognition for, it's not something that we want. We don't want a recognition, we want the thing to happen. But to be here and to network with other people and find out what their challenges are and share our challenges with them makes it easier, because you think to yourself, oh, I'm having a hard time, but you don't know what's happening on the other side.
Absolutely.
So by learning, we're here to learn actually. We're here to enjoy ourselves, but we're here to learn. And I think that is the most important thing. If all of us can just be around and learn, we'll be able to achieve a lot, because we don't know everything.
Absolutely. It's a continuous learning process.
Better. There's always someone
Yes.
better.
Well, thank you, Fakhmi, and we wish you all the best as the leader of Western Cape Q Sport. May you achieve great things for all the players in your town.
Thank you very much, and thank you for your confidence.
Martial Arts South Africa, congratulations, receiving their certificate of appreciation. Final one is the Western Cape Boxing. The snazzily dressed something of a knockout, if you'll excuse the pun. Oh. Western Cape Modern Pentathlon, please come forward and receive your appreciation certificate. Good to smile for the camera, sir. Western Cape Netball.
We have advocate Kwababani from the world of boxing. who also wears another hat, that of the head of the coaching commission on the Western Cape Provincial Sports Confederation. Once again, hello.
Hello.
Yes, well, we're no stranger to each other. Tell us, what was your impression of the night so far?
First of all, it was a celebration. It was noting the good work that has been done so far by all the sport administrators. And as the head of the coaching commission, we have actually got a rejuvenation of some sort. Because today, going forth, we know exactly what we need to do. We've seen what we have done, and we can't actually wait for the following year. Yes.
Okay. Well, in terms of coaching and focusing on coaching specifically, what do you hope to achieve in the next, say, 12 months?
I'll even cut it low and say within the next coming 6 months, we want to ensure that for all our districts, we have already drafted our plan of action for 2019, 2018 or 2020. So that's how far we actually are taking this matter serious.
Is there an accreditation for all the coaches in all of the different sports in Western Cape on the horizon?
Those are one of the topical issues that we're going to be brainstorming with the rest of the district representatives within our commission.
Okay.
Yes, for sure.
Now, Advocate, from your perspective, as an administrator, as an athlete, how important is it to show appreciation for the administrators?
Yeah, I would like to sample from some of the speakers that we had, like our president, JP, indicated that in most cases we found that athletes are always getting their medals. You get coaches being actually recognized, but you never get to see the people that are working behind the scenes recognized. So today it was actually appreciation enough even for me to stand here and be appreciated for the work that I've done. I mean, we're not getting paid for this, we are civil society members and we are providing our services free of charge.
Absolutely, absolutely. And most people don't know that the administrators in sports are doing it purely on a voluntary basis. And this is why the athletes, the cuers, the whatever sport you're playing, you need to show your appreciation, and mostly through cooperation. Thank you. Thank you, Advocate Kwavavani, and may wish you all the best with all your projects.
Thank you.
First one, Western Cape, ring ball. Western Cape sailing. Receiving their appreciation certificate. Doing some amazing development work as well. We'll start off with Transplant Sports. Please come and receive your certificate of appreciation. Western Cape Tug of War.
For Sports Federation TV, we're coming to you live from Century City Conference Centre from the Western Cape Provincial Sports Confederation Appreciation Dinner for all the administrators in the Western Cape. With me now, Martin van Wyk from Witzenberg Sports Council. Hello Martin, once again, we're no strangers to each other.
No, we're not.
Yes, tell us about your impression of the night thus far.
I think this, it says it all, the appreciation dinner, where people are being honored for their contribution, not only towards the past year, but like some winners did, or some people did receive for their past contribution for all these years. And I think what the Western Cape Sports Confederation is doing is that just giving back to the sports people, the administrators and so forth, for their hard work, for their effort, and for their sort of sacrifices that they've been done all through these years. I think this is a great gesture from the Sports Confederation of the Western Cape.
And tell us about the great gestures that you are personally doing in your municipality.
Well, in our areas, what we are doing is that we are being mandated to ensure that our sporting codes, which falls under these federations that have been here tonight, do have at least proper facilities, that their sporting codes can be sort of practiced on fields and on stadia, which is conducive for the development of the sporting code within our immediate area. And that is our key role, our primary function as a sports council on the local level.
Absolutely. What is your hopes for the near future for your area?
I think what we would like to see is even more talented young players coming from the Cape Winelands area, representing the Cape Winelands area on international and, as you've mentioned, on the global level. That is our, I think, one of our ambitions that we do have for the sporting people of the Cape Winelands.
Yeah, well, thank you, Martin van Wyk, for the amazing work that you do with your team in the Cape Winelands area, and we hope to see you again on the show, bringing us more great news from Cape Winelands.
Absolutely, and thank you to you and your team.
Thank you. We'll be back after the break with more highlights from tonight's appreciation dinner, where you'll hear from all the sports administrators and also have a closer look at the happenings of the night.
This is a, it's a first for us. When I stepped into this position, I was kind of brought into this position by a gentleman by the name of Goliath Munro. And he really laid the tracks for the Sport Confederation, and like they say in Afrikaans, die man het groot spore getrap. And I think it's so important that we remember and recognize the people that laid the tracks. The reality is, all that experience, you can't write it off. Administration or sports will only run successfully if the administration is good. And I've said this before, that President Nelson Mandela said, sport has the ability to change a nation, but I added the narrative on that sport has the ability to change the nation provided we have good administration. Because without good sports administration, there is no progress. Ladies and gentlemen, a gentleman that has come before me and has done sports administration for I don't know how many years, and I'm not going to put a number on it, because I think that adding a milestone number to something in today's times is largely irrelevant, but come before me and has contributed more to the world of sport that I would know. He has done more in the world of sport than I do know and probably wish to know in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for a gentleman that retired from the Eden Sport Council this year as secretary. He was the secretary of the Confederation. He wrote our colours policy. Ladies and gentlemen, please bring with me Mr. Dave van der Walt.
For Sports Federation TV, I'm Lenyukta Chetty. This year at the Western Cape Provincial Sports Confederation Appreciation Dinner, our recipient for the Lifetime Achievement Award is Dave van der Walt from the Eden District. Dave, congratulations, what an amazing award.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it, and I still think, I know that the Western Cape Sport Confederation is the #1 in South Africa. There's no doubt about it. I'm appreciative of the award, but I want to dedicate it to the many sport administrators who has crossed my path and who has formed part of shaping myself as an administrator over the past 44 years. And I think, and then also, I must dedicate it to my wife, who was willing to spend so many nights and so many weekends alone, caring for the kids, and also giving me the space to maneuver in to do these things.
Mr. van der Walt, with members like you in our sporting community, you inspire the rest of us administrators to give more and achieve more. And that is why you were chosen as the recipient of this very, very prestigious award. Our current president, Mr. JP Nodia, delivered a very passionate speech, a keynote speech. Seeing a young administrator like him now in charge of leading this province forward, how does it make you feel?
I think it comes a long way. Administrators are not born.
They are made.
They are made.
Yeah.
And I think it is very important that we do have administrators that we can hand over the baton for the future. But we are lucky in the Western Cape that we've got a very strong structure that we have built. Our 6 districts are all well structured, and we really has come a long way. I think if you want a blueprint for sport council, sport confederations in South Africa, come to the Western Cape.
Excellent. That's Dave van der Walt, this year's recipient of the Lifetime Achievement Award from the Western Cape Provincial Sports Confederation. Dave, we wish you all the best and thank you for the amazing work and all the sacrifices you've made to make sport a success in the Western Cape.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Okay. We'll be back after the break with more highlights from tonight's appreciation dinner, where you'll hear from all the sports administrators and also have a closer look at the happenings of the night.
All right, so thank you very much for your kind attention, ladies and gentlemen. I promise we're almost at the end of the evening, and in fact, to give us the vote of thanks, he is here on stage with me, Western Cape Provincial Sport Confederation Vice President, Mr. David Barnes. Please give him a big, warm round of applause.
My name is David Barnes. I'm from Beaufort West in the Central Karoo, which is the gateway into the Western Cape from the Eastern and the Northern Cape side. It's 500 kilometers from Cape Town. Thank you very much for doing such a sterling job as MC. Mr. Willefeer, is he gone? All right. In his absence, we also like to thank him. I mean, he kept us entertained. So in his absence, thank you very much. But for you as the people working on the ground, with the athletes, all of you are not in all the regions yet or districts yet. So we urge you once again to please make sure that you find footprint within your Central Karoos and within your West Coast and all this, based and conformed by the 52 geopolitical districts. 6 in the Western Cape. We don't talk about SWD and Golan and that anymore. It's Central Karoo, Eden, Overberg, West Coast and Metro. So please, we know that you work hard on the ground, and if it was not for you people working on the ground, we would have not been here tonight. JP not here and his team, we would also like to thank you for the hard work that you as a confederation did for this past years up until now. And I mean, bringing all of the sport people in the province together. We would like to thank you, and still want to say to you and your team, strongs for the years that you will be in office. And to DCAS, HOD, Mr. Brent Walters, seems like the doctor left, Mr. Cabo Tutu, for you and your team working with the districts on ground level. We would like to thank you as DCAS, and especially the contribution that you make in terms of your role as the provider or the enabler, like you call it in your terms, with resources and the necessary funding. Thank you very much for trying to make Western Cape a winning province. Dave van der Walt, in fact, I really want to emphasize what JP said in terms of your role and contribution in sport. I know you resigned from Eden Sports Council, but they could not find a replacement, so you're still acting there. So keep on the good work, Dave. I think, President, with that few words, I would then say to everybody who came, who travel long journeys, ek weet julle het nou nie verder as ek gery nie, but nonetheless, baie dankie dat julle gekom het. Ons sien mekaar weer definitief volgende jaar. Baie dankie.
Mr. JP Nodia, current president of the Confederation, is here with me now to tell us about his hopes and his dreams for tonight's function.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. A lot of hopes and dreams, and it was a great evening. Everybody said they enjoyed it, so I'll go on what everybody else says. And tonight being a appreciation dinner is exactly what we were looking for. Is end of year, maybe lose some of the formalities and let the administrators, the guys that really drive the wheel behind sport, let them enjoy themselves, and hopefully we lived up to their expectations.
How important is it for you that the administrators in the Western Cape know that they're appreciated? I mean, you've of course steered this entire dinner, and it's a token to show them appreciation. But what can the administrators or the largest sports body in the province do to make administrators feel appreciated on a more constant basis?
You know, I think it's as simple as what we did tonight. Put on a dinner, put an event on, invite people, make them feel recognized. And if we're not talking about a function such as a dinner like this, when you're a sports administrator or a volunteer, the word thank you, walking up to someone and shaking their hand, these are the kind of things that you can do in the absence of money and funding and all that. A simple thank you, a simple well done, a little gift, a little token, a certificate, that's our starting point. In the long run, we'd like to see administrators getting paid, and other type of support structures around them. But if you ask me in terms of advice right now, a simple thank you goes a long way.
Or as simple as doing something when your administrator asks you to do it. Cooperation, eh?
Yeah. Make your administrator's life easy.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah.
JP, you've had a tough year, but also a very fruitful year. What do you hope to achieve in the near future?
Well, 2019 is going to be very much about moving us. Making sure that obviously the basics have to be in place, our governance process has to be in place, solid accounting principles, but good financial planning is key. But those are the business side of things. In terms of the strategic moves in sport, we're expecting a lot from our sports membership card. That's going to roll out. Much more sport broadcasting. That's going to be really important, not only for the Confederation, but also the federations and federations in the districts wherever we can. And then we're looking forward to our new relationship with the Sports Science Institute to make sure that we've got their skills coming into the organization from a high performance point of view, from a coaching perspective, and there are some membership options there for some of our high performance athletes. So no, we've got our hands full. Those are just a couple of things that I mentioned, but I think the commercialization, or the move towards commercialization in the digital era with new age thinking, is really where we're at.
Well, now for every athlete, regardless of the sport, the aim is to get your provincial colors, get national colors, and hopefully if your sport is in the Olympic Games, to go to the Olympic Games one day. But the provincial colors is the first step. What do provincial bodies need to have in place in order to achieve provincial colors or have that status from Western Cape Provincial Sports Confederation?
Well, the first thing is, in terms of our space, if you want to get provincial colors, you need to be one of our members. You need to be a member of the provincial structure. On the sports side, we try not to interfere with the sport itself. The sport itself must determine its own selection criteria and qualification criteria. But normally what you would have is you might have an inter-district championships and compete in order to get provincial colours. But most important that you stick to a colours policy, and the colours policy will determine what it is that'll eventually give you this provincial team color.
And you get invited to this amazing appreciation dinner every year. Thank you, JP. It was indeed an amazing night. The food was on fleek, the company was great, the entertainment was great, and that was an amazing keynote delivery from yourself.
No, but thanks, and I can just say to you, for all the days that you keep committing to Sport Federation
all
TV,
the traffic I endure.
All the traffic you have to sit in, and that's what it's about. It's our way of saying thank you. And we can never say thank you enough, because it's time that we hope is well spent.
Thank you. It's a privilege. It's a privilege for me. Thank you very much. Thank you. And that's it for tonight, folks. We've had an amazing time at the appreciation dinner right here at Century City Convention Center. We can't wait for next year, where we'll celebrate all the administrators once again. Remember, you can catch Sports Federation TV every Friday night at 9 p.m. on channel 263 DSTV, repeated Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. Remember, whatever sport you're playing this weekend, lekker speel, and most importantly, please cooperate with your sports administrators. They work so hard and tirelessly, sacrificing hours and days for you to make your sport better. I'm Lenyuk Thachetti. Thank you for joining us once again.